thought, I think nitacheji hii ufala yangu sasa, hata mimi nifanye kama wengine. Lakini nikaona hii mtego nikiingia, niko hapo. All I'm trying to say, the first 1 year, real tough, desert. You are in the you are in Kalahari desert. And you know, most of our decision making, if you study psychology and even human sociability, how do we make our decisions? It's usually not based on what is best for me. It's usually based about society. It's usually about my prayer group. I'm the only one who is not driving. Do you know, by the way, those are the basics of our decision making? You know, I go to church, SEK, now, kwa youth ya hiyo church, you know, I'm the only one who is not buying a plot. And that becomes the primary decision-making organ of our graduate from Dekut who did technology and engineering. I'm speaking to myself also, so I'm not pointing to you, PKN. So, what am I trying to say here? Mi niliona story ya kazi, nilijiuliza, wapi tushaisikia mtu ametoka hii dunia kwa sababu hakupata kazi? Then if that is not one way of eliminating my existence, then I'm not getting one. Why? Because getting one, ni kukaa tu hoyae. That's my belief. That's what I thought. Ni kukaa tu hapo. I have given people, my parents, the right to say my son works for Barclays Bank, my son works for this. You have given them that, but you are in a trap. Now, coming to investments, that's the reason I actually invest in the stock market. Because is it I put money where I'll get so much money, or I don't put? Now tell me that you investing kitu inakupea 20%. Me, I'm not looking for 20% annum. I'm looking for more. The beauty is that those opportunities are there. And then when you're buying shares, don't look at you're buying, you know, people imagine shares are these things people trade forex. No. Shares is, we are in this hotel today. This hotel has ownership. If it's owned by 10 people, those are the shareholders, they are owners. So when you're buying shares, it is like you are replacing one of the 10. That's how shares market is. You are replacing that other shareholder because shares are not created for you. You buy ile iko na huyu na huyu na yule. Why so? Again, when you are investing, you don't look at trading. And I keep asking myself, and I am asking you, when you buy a plot in Rwaka or in Groiro or in wherever other place, how comes you don't call your broker of the land every day to ask him, hey, bei imefika wapi? When you say, we buy a plot ya 2 million, hausubuaki watu kila siku, huko plot ziko pesa gapi? You buy and you chill. That's the same way of investing in the stock market. You do your research, you buy the right company, and because you know you bought the right company, then you don't keep on checking the price every now and then, because you know you made the right decision. So what are the kind of things I look for when I'm buying those things? Stock market, because I'm giving you the abstracts as I finish, you go study by yourself. I can't tell you which year to buy, because you're already a graduate. So you must know which one to buy, but through which parameters. You study the global market. I also do that. It's not rocket science. Anyone who did these heavy courses of Dedan and Kimathi, you'll find analyzing investments like walking in the park. You'll find it like going to see giraffes in Dedan and Kimathi. It's that easy. You study the global markets. Like I saw the Federal Reserve this week. They lowered the Fed rate. So to me, when I'm watching Bloomberg TV, that has an interconnection with my investments here in Kenya. Because when interest rates are coming down, most times shares prices are going up. And it's no coincidence that when the Federal Reserve in the US lowered their rate by 25 basis points, immediately the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ recorded their highest levels ever. It's not a coincidence. So you started global markets. Where is the world going? Is the world now for rates or is it for stock market? Then you come to Kenya. Kenya, you start the sectors. Now, there are many companies listed in the NSC. Some are in agricultural sector. We have Kapchorwa Tea, Williamson Tea, Kakuzi. That is at agricultural. And forgive me if I'm not talking to you. This issue I'm talking, I would rather talk to 5 people other than talk theory for all of you to grab. You get what I mean? I don't want to motivate you, no. Motivation, I don't think I fit the bill. I would rather speak to 3 people who will do it other than talk something that's very exciting. So after that sector, look at agricultural sector. How is it faring in Kenya? Automobiles, there is only one company listed called Kind General. You go to insurance, you go to banking, you go to technology, you go to energy, Kenya Power, Kengen, Total Kenya, such, Umeme. That helps you first of all see the trend in sectors. Like for me now, my number one sector of interest is banking. Because of all the sectors in Kenya, banking is making more money than all the rest in terms of growth in profitability. Then number 2, when I look at banking, it is the only sector in Kenya that they are expanding geographically massively, and they are not limited. That Equity Bank today here is now in DRC, is now in that other place, is already going to Ethiopia. So I look at that and say, now, if they are going to Ethiopia, this cashier yako moja will also go to fetch for me money from Ethiopia. You look at it that way. Then why stock sector? Then you zero in. Now let's say you are in banking. You zero in. What are the things you look at? You look at number 1, profitability of the company. How has it been profitable? Does it rise? How is the rise in profit? Between KCB, between Equity, between DTB, between ABSA. Number 2, in banking, you look for something called price to book value. Those who are writing, I can see a few. You look at something called price to book value. Price to book value is this. If you're starting a bank in Kenya today, the core capital has been 1 billion, though it is being increased. So if you are 10 people starting a bank, we will not...
Sasa ndio tunafunga kazi. Tunafunganga saa 8.